So, welcome to our C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Hey, today's topic, we're doing a 3-session challenge, which is all about how to get corporate contracts, whether you're a coach, consultant, trainer, advisor, speaker, author, whatever you're up to, ladies. And so I really appreciate each of you. Thanks for being on camera. It makes a difference, doesn't it, when we're able to see each other? So thank you. So my promise, as always, is to bring it. And so let me just jump in and let's just start with our discussion. And the goal is that you're going to leave today with so much value on things that you can do starting today, because today's theme of our 3-session challenge today is all about return on investment, clarifying the confidence, the clarity, and the credibility that you're bringing, whether you've been in corporate or not. And so I would love to get a raise of hands. How many of you have, you've got some corporate coaching or consulting experience? Just give me a little sparkle finger here. Some of you, yeah, thank you. Interested in getting into it. That would be all of you. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. Okay. So I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Hey, I'm an author speaker. I'm a lover of all things coaching, like all of you. And this is an important topic, and it's so timely, ladies. And I just want to set the stage because the workplace, hey, I don't need to tell you, it is changing. And especially with Doge and what's happening, the global economy, things are really accelerated. And what I'm noticing, and you can see the statistics here about that in low engagement, we've got this interesting paradox. And I want to come over to all of you in a moment and see what you're seeing too, is we've got this paradox of employees, because it's important for me not only to lead a movement of corporate and coaches and consultants, but also to have my own corporate clients as well. And so I have a full book of business around my corporate business. So I know got a great pulse on what's happening. And I'm noticing this interesting thing that people seem to be disengaged, but also at the same time worried about what's going to happen with their job. And so it's this interesting paradox. And I have to say, a client of mine, sadly, I mean, my heart goes out to this client. She's a very high level person in a manufacturing firm, just got to notice that their particular division is being riffed, and you'd never imagine it. The site is productive, there's return on investment, there's all kinds of metrics, but yet the business decision at the corporate level is to move these people to different areas in the company. So it provides for us as coaches and consultants the great opportunity to reach out to people. So one of the big takeaways from today, love for you to keep track of this for yourself, is today, one of the takeaways is please reach out to someone that you know who's in corporate or has an affiliation with corporations, business, associations, organizations, federal government, education, wherever it is. My request is reach out to someone today and just say, I'm thinking of you. Okay. Genuinely, authentically, not as a client acquisition strategy, please. No, no, no. Just genuinely reach out, because I will tell you, we will never, ever, ever know what's happening behind some of these corporate veils. Okay. But when you are connected to your corporate clients, you get the inside track as to what's happening. And of course, I would never share wouldn't of the specifics of the corporate riff, but it's important for us to be the light workers that we are. So if any of that resonates with you, give me some sparkling here. Tell me what you're thinking, because our corporate, and I just say this lovingly, our corporate brothers and sisters are our people. These are our people. They need us more than ever before. Okay. So we've got this paradox, you've heard about the quiet quitting, but there's also the quiet firing. And I'm seeing this a lot that's happening. How many of you are seeing this, where people they're mentally and emotionally they've left the building. They're working on their next gig. Okay. There's some merit to that, pluses and minuses, but also things are happening with people are just being let go. People are being moved to different positions. Some are being promoted and demoted. It's always in flux. That's one of the things with corporate, it's always in flux. So there's opportunity for you. And I will also say that with all of this, Gallup did a poll recently finding 1 in 5 employees worldwide feel lonely. I will also add is disengaged and worried and worried. So I want to pause here for a moment. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What's the state of the state in corporate from where you're at? Because we get to, when we see problems, hello, there's opportunity. Okay. So jump in. What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? What are you reading? What's happening in your world when it comes to your corporate clients or your B2B clients? Jump in.
I was having a conversation with the CEO of a petroleum-based company here in Chicago, and he was telling me a little bit about kind of where they are now and relative to where they were in COVID. And the way he told the story was, the way that I heard the story was that they went into survival mode in COVID and they've never come out of it. And now with everything else going on, it feels like they've just doubled down on that survival mode.
Mary, thank you for bringing that up. Isn't that something? And so we coaches, ladies, we know how to work with people, how to help people, how to people deal with not only the business aspect of it, but it's the people part, the humanitarianism, the being a humanitarian, as Susan K. Younger has got a whole new body of work to talk about that. So isn't it really that we're coaching the organization, but we're also coaching the people, right? Yes, yes. And please, yeah, thank you. Mary, that's a great point. And so people's nervous systems, we know, are on high alert, right? Kind of waiting. I like another one of my clients said she consistently is kind of looking around corners and she's waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot, Kathleen, that with all the uncertainty that's being discussed at so many different directions, it doesn't matter what level you are within the company, you still have questions about how do I make it happen and how do I guarantee that I'm saved? And in so doing, frequently you're not performing at your best and only creating more uncertainty for yourself, sleepless nights, feeling unsure about who you can share your questions with.
Right.
The whole idea of how can I be transparent about what I need versus what I have to share to help make things grow. Will my ideas be challenged or accepted? And the whole who's with me, who's against me sort of feeling, because frequently in business, it's looked at as, is it me against my peers? If they're cutting, how do I make sure I'm the one who's saved without feeling that it's a competition internally? And that makes it difficult to be collaborative on the issues you need to be collaborative on.
Susan, you so nailed all of that. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you to you and Mary, because uh, imagine that C-suite executives or even any level in the organization that they really can't feel 100% confident to totally let it rip, so to speak. But guess what? When they're with you as their coach, consultant, advisor, even when the company hires you to come in and support the organization, the employees in the organization, they then have this bond of confidentiality with you. And I think that coaches and consultants, we sometimes underestimate that. One of my clients from, gosh, 10 years ago that I've remained in contact with, she's moved up the executive ladder, moved to different companies. But she said to me literally last week that back 10 years ago, I was able to help her make a strategic decision about having more children in her family. Now, it changed her entire life. But can you imagine at the time she couldn't have gone to her leadership team because they were mainly concerned with how would that impact her job? She had this very pivotal decision to make. So we never know the sacred relationship that we have with our clients. So I just want to underestimate that. So what's emerging for you around your relationship with your clients? Feel free, put it in the chat, raise your hand. we want to get your voices in here. Do you find that this is something that you've underestimated in the past? Your relationship, your key, profound relationship with your clients? Or is it something that you just like, hey, I just know this and I really, I leverage this, so to speak, and I maximize it? Yep. Jump in, feel free. So continuing on, that this is the state, and of course, coaches and consultants, we get to be the solution. And I know firsthand how this works. These are just a small list of my clients that I have worked with. So I know and have worked at all different levels with team building and leadership and sales performance and all kinds of different things, specifically women's leadership. And I love, love, love this. I also work with corporations on mentoring. And so that is a track that I'm really doubling down on, because think about it. The corporations, the organizations that have people that stay on after there's been a reduction in force, these are the people that they deem are valuable, invaluable. They've got to have these people mentored and remain in the game, so to speak. So I understand very clearly how this works. And so the consulting and coaching corporate opportunity, it is real, ladies. It is real. And, just a short list of, because we're also going to get into talking about ROI, but why do organizations hire coaches and consultants? And ladies, this is just a very small, small list. And so I'm just curious on this list, what do you see for yourself that you are either doing or you'd like to start doing more of in corporate coaching and consulting? So unmute yourself. Tell me what's on your mind here. What are you thinking? What do you want to do more of that you're not doing today? Feel free, take a screen capture of this, because this is a menu of services and opportunities for us. So just jump in. What are you thinking? What's on your mind?
I have actually just this week made a decision finally to pivot away from coaching and lead exclusively with neurofeedback. It's something I've been doing for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now, kind of along the side of coaching. And I've been struggling getting my business going. And in fact, at the beginning of the month, it was kind of like, shit, if this doesn't fly, I'm done, right? I'm done. And yeah, I stayed in it. And I just, again, asked the universe, okay, I'm going to stay in this. You've got until the end of the month to show me something, right? And everything that lined up for me this month is that it's not coaching. I don't want to do coaching. I'm really good at it. And yes, that's great, but that's not where I want to be. This neurofeedback, this is something I can scale. This is something I can really get out there. And oh my God, it feels so good. I redid my whole website this morning. Right. So now I'm feeling this alignment and realizing what it is that I didn't want to do.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Mary, thank you. And you're leading us intuitively into discussing again, what is it? I don't think honestly that it's the coaching that corporations specifically want. Obviously, they want the result of the coaching, right? And so they want the transformation. And so we're going to talk in a moment about what is that ROI that you could start focusing in on, because I'm quite sure of is when I go into my Fortune accounts and associations and organizations and I tell them that I'm a coach and I'm here to coach up your people, that's not going to get them very excited. It did maybe 20 years ago, but coaching has become so mainstream. So so to think about again, what's the end result that they're looking for? They have problems and issues and opportunities that they're looking to solve. They don't have the bench strength, folks. They just don't have the bench strength inside. And so, if we look to our brothers and sisters and our fabulous colleagues in HR, they don't have the capacity to do all of these things. And so you're noticing that there are more and more opportunities, more and more companies are hiring coaches to be able to serve their corporate clients. And so these are some of the things, these are the reasons, but also this is what they want us for. Okay. So when you can, the neuroscience, the neuroplasticity, the psychological safety, the resilience, the agility, all of these things, they want that to get an end result, which leads us to the ROI. Yes. Yes. So looking at this list too, what are some things that you're seeing? And Susan will come over to you in just a moment, but thinking about, hey, yes, I'm technically a coach, but I'm also a strategist to help with growth. I'm a strategist for peak performance. I'm a um, I'm a engagement specialist. I'm a productivity, uh, performance, agility expert. I'm just coming up with names, but not to be like tricky or salesy, but modifying our title as coach is one thing. Additionally, I'd like for you to take away today is we've got to be able to customize and specialize, right? With now over 2 million coaches on LinkedIn, we've got to have a different game to play. Yes. Susan, so jump in. What are your thoughts on all of this?
And I think it's what you talked about earlier. Reach out to someone and just talk to them. Find out. It's not so much that it's uh, also kind of a discovery of what's important in the workplace at this point, that you may have a skill or service that can be of value, but you're not focusing on it. It's much like Mary looking at it as it's not coaching, but it's taking a skill and showing people how that service and skill helps them to solve a problem or create growth or create impact in a way that creates a unique solution for them or a unique opportunity for them. And being able to present yourself as somebody with fresh ideas and new ways of thinking allows you to stand out from everybody else calling themselves a coach who can help. And I think the word coach is at this point so overused that most of us find coaching's only a small part of what we're doing, and our consulting services end up spreading the depth of our skills and past experience to help them find what they need to move them forward. And so how we align ourselves with those components of ourselves to serve what's needed for them.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, and even this pivot from our time today to also speak about what Susan just said and Mary said, and I know it's on all of your minds, is to move to this sacred relationship of the strategic advisor. Okay, every CEO on the planet, every leader on the planet has got a strategic advisor. They have a lot of advisors, but very few have got strategic advisors. And when you can be with your tribe, create your community, your people through the ups and downs of life, this particular department that I was mentioning that is now being eliminated and absorbed into another part of the company, these particular employees, I now feel that I have a great opportunity and I'm helping to promote them in their careers. So you as their advisor, their trusted advisor, their colleague, their confidant, their cheerleader, their advocate, they are feeling alone. And because as Susan was saying and others have said, it's a very turbulent time now. So another takeaway from today, of course, reach out to someone just for no other reason like, hey, I just was thinking about how are you, what's going on in your world, and listening, and how can I be helpful to you? And so even you using your platform, ladies, you each have a platform. If you're on LinkedIn, you got a platform. Okay, use your platform to promote other people, and this will endear you to them. And this is how I have operated my career forever, is relationships that then corporate superstars move from companies, they move up in the ladder, they move to different areas, and you're the first one that they will think of when they've got a new initiative or they want to think about a mentorship program or a leadership program or a sales initiative or whatever your specialty is. you will be the first on the list. And this literally just happened to me 2 weeks ago when I asked the question, will this be going out to bid? And the answer was absolutely not, Kathleen. I would never think of calling any other coach consultant. You're the one I want to work with. So, don't you want to hear that, ladies? Are you excited about hearing that? Give me some reaction in the chat down here. I'd love some hearts, some celebration. You want to be the soul source, okay? And I do mean SOUL source, right? Okay, yeah, we got the SOLE source. Okay, got it. So and by the way, come up with some questions and let's get you into the my intention is that also we're going to start thinking about and put together a little mini plan because this sacred relationship that you have with people, all of you, you're trained in how to build deep relationships, meaningful relationships. And I don't want any of you to underestimate, especially now, how important this is because think about it. Your clients, either your current clients or your past clients or your new clients, they have worn out the relationship with career advice with their girlfriends, their friends, their family members, their spouse, their partner. They've worn it out. And meaning like the partner, the spouse needs a break. Okay. Let me just say that they need a break. And we want you to be stepping in and be that trusted advisor. And of course, as we know, with the economy in very, very tumultuous, kind of crazy times, that risk is right around the corner. And so you get this great opportunity to go in and demonstrate the confidence, the clarity, and the credibility that you are. So let's just jump into some ROI conversations because opportunities, I'm going to drop some more opportunities in here for you, but internal masterminds, you going in and leading councils and masterminds and groups and training and all kinds of challenges. My goodness, doing a challenge, doing fun, interesting things that bring people together to build awareness, build connection, build all inness is fantastic. And guess what? You get to be the expert because you get to bring the briefcase in from out of the company and you are the revered specialist. Okay. It's a fun position to be in. And so here we go. We're going to jump into some specifics and then a specific thing that you can take away today to start to focus in on, okay, what could be my next steps to get really clear on my return on investment? How do I tangibly be able to quantify my coaching solution? And I just say coaching, consulting, that type of thing. Okay, so we want to have, of course, confidence. Okay, and if you've been a corporate coach before or consultant before, you've even been in corporate before, you've got a level of confidence. So we want to speak with authority and own our authority. Companies do not hire amateurs. I'll just say this, they don't have time. It's too risky for them to do this. They want to hire people who are confident, have proven frameworks and systems and models and can be able to prove it. Okay. And so for how many of you, I'm curious, have you had a corporate client in the past? I know we talked about this a little bit before, but I just want to get a sense for how many of you would this be a new opportunity that you would kind of be getting your first corporate or business to business kind of client? Give me a little sparkle or little hands up in the, okay, great. All right. So you get to own all of the experience and expertise that you've had throughout your entire career. Okay. And if you've been in business for more than 5 to 10 years, you're an expert for sure. Okay. You are an expert. And so I have the confidence. We also want to clarify really clearly who you are, what you do, who you help, and having specifically departments, divisions, companies, that type of thing. We can't be a jack of all trades when it comes to corporate. Okay. That raises suspicion. And you can just start with your next client. If you have one client in a particular area like manufacturing or pharmaceutical or, serve a service business, then guess what? you're an expert. If you've got one client, you are an expert. Okay. And then, of course, the credibility. What are the results that you've had? Even if you've had results as an internal employee, you've had results. So we want to start to think about what are those results with testimonials and with credentials and with presence. Okay. All right. So jumping in here to return on investment. And I want to get your point of view. What am I missing in this list here? But corporate clients, they want measurable outcomes. Okay. We've got to be able to tangibly quantify what is the goal of the project or the program. Okay. They also, corporate clients, as you know, they want to make investments in the company, in the people. They don't want to have excess costs, right? Okay. So we have to kind of shift our mindset our offer on our offer. What is our offer providing? What are the outcomes? How can we make it an investment? What are the metrics that we could start using? Like time saved, revenue gained, retention, really, really, really important because to hire a new employee is now upwards of about $80 to $150,000 per employee, just the whole hiring process. So it's much better to retain valuable employees than trying to go out and hire new ones. Okay. And then, of course, we want to talk about what's the transformation, right? Into people value. So, what are you seeing from your perspective? What are you hearing? What are you noticing and reading? What is it that corporate buyers want? So, jump in, want to get your voice in here. What are you seeing? And Sheila, if I could call on you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
trying
got
to
it.
answer
Yes.
the call,
Yep.
but that's okay. I'll
Yeah.
answer this
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Because you
Um,
have this great perspective. You see a lot of corporations and organizations. What are you seeing that are people saying that they want to say yes to?
I'm seeing a lot of sales teams struggle in various different industries, but I'm being approached by a lot of different you know, sales leaders and how do they up level their sales team? How can they have certain performance, right? And revenue that they have to hit and they're not hitting it. So how can I help build that personal brand to help them be known, right? People need to know you before they need you. I say that all the time. So what are those tactics we can do to help them become more visible and become top of mind for their customers? So that's one area that I'm seeing. I'm also seeing a lot happening in the real estate market. So there's a lot of realtors out there. So if you can get in with different real estate companies, that's a great avenue as well because those people, right, they're for the most part like a solopreneur, right? They're independent contractors, and so they're going to do whatever it takes for the most part to figure out how to attract more clients and the right clients and how to command higher fees. So I think we can all help with that. But those are the two areas that I'm seeing a lot happening or seeing a lot of movement in is that sales industry and the real estate industry.
Sheila, thank you. Again, bringing so much value. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Very, very great. So you can see that you could have an offer like communication skills, uh, listening skills, being able to have assertive skills, confidence skills. I mean, all of the different things that you can have to be able to support a sales organization and overcoming objections. And so it really takes us thinking about, hey, what's the offer that I have right now? And how can I corporatize it? Okay. Corporatize it. Resonating with you, corporatize it. So maybe it's leadership skills, but how can those leadership skills make a difference and be able to be monetized? Okay. And so breaking apart the core offer that you have and be able to apply it to, hey, how can employees in corporations or associations and organizations benefit from this? Great. Sheila, thank you. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. How about someone else? What are you seeing? What are some things that corporations are saying yes to? Or where would you like to go? Of course. Yeah. Molly, thank you so much.
Yes, I'm seeing overwhelm and burnout, and people's capacity it was already full, and now with reorganizations and all that's reorgs, they are those they're getting even more on their plate. So it is what strategies can I do? How do I delegate? Because I do still have a lot of people that they think that they need to be touching everything. So how can they stay on the highway versus getting down into the weeds? And just creating a strategy for empowering their teams to do more, and so they can do the things that they're supposed to be doing.
Excellent, excellent. Molly, thank you. Thank you. And you do that so well. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
really good. With a Midwestern flair, never underestimate the magic that each of you bring, right? You all bring this magic to your clients and bringing a little sparkle and bringing you to the environment. Yeah, yeah, it's great. So thank you. So thinking about, again, what is it that I really love to do? And this leads us right here to know that corporations want to have that return on investment, obviously, but we know that. I mean, it's documented. I mean, the resources, the studies. PricewaterhouseCoopers just recently did a study, and they went out and they found that companies that engaged coaches, specifically leadership coaches that make a difference in their leadership teams with competition, with agility, with resilience, all of these different flavors, they were able to get a 7-time return on investment. So a 700% ROI. So we know the ROI is there, but the key is to be able to take your offer and be able to corporatize it. Okay. So thinking about this, we're going to pivot and to think about for yourself, and you'd like to take a screen capture of this, is having a specialization. Okay. Where do you have experience? What are you passionate about? What's your point of view? What solutions do you already have? And how can you add value? All right. So thinking about, hey, I might be a leadership coach or a team building coach or a sales coach or a neuroplasticity or neuroscience or brain, but let's hone into what are more of the specifics and what's the value you can provide to corporate. Okay. Questions, comments, jump in. And a formula that I'd like for you to leave with today, because our challenge is quick, 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 quick. Get in, get out, set the stage, and then give you some field work for tomorrow's program. So I'd like for you to be thinking about this. Take a screen capture, is thinking about between today and tomorrow, what's your return on investment statement? Okay. So when you have the opportunity to meet with corporate decision makers or be able to say you're going to a meeting of human resource people or of tech people or wherever you feel like your lane is, being able to have this at the ready is absolutely critical. Okay. So thinking about, hey, I help, let's say, for instance, I help manufacturing firms. This is my deal. I help them be able to have engaged employees. And Sonja will come right over to you, but I help employees in manufacturing firms, specifically middle level leaders that are emerging leaders, be able to speak more powerfully to clients and customers so that they can better represent the company. Okay. So they can get more business for the company, so that they can be leaders in the community and be able to spread a positive brand throughout the community. So, per what Sheila was just saying, is hey, helping tech sales teams to solve the problem and how they benefit. Okay. So I'd love for you to be thinking about this, noodling about this in the next 24 hours to really think about what you do, what's the problem you solve, the big expensive problem, and how do they benefit? And you can see it's just so elegant to be able to say in a sentence. It's really, really powerful and authentic. So there we. So jump in. I think you had a question.
Yes, my question is, what is if you can't quantify it? Like you've just said there, 15%, or someone else would say, we will, I don't know, increase your revenue tenfold. What if you can't quantify that?
Great question. So starting today, great question. Starting today, and see, these are the things we've never been taught in coach consulting school, right? We never really we're taught this, but it's really, really important to do surveys and to be able to, when you start an engagement, even the engagement starts when you start talking to a prospective client, to be able to talk about, hey, what are the problems, what are the issues, what are the opportunities in the organization or the company, and then to be able to say, what's the impact of the problem that they're dealing with? What's the impact? And to try to nudge them to say, hey, well, we're concerned. Last quarter we lost, $10 million in revenue because our people were not able to do X, Y, and Z. To be able to quantify at the very beginning, and then to be able to, and I've got a whole script. If you would like this, let me know. I've got a whole script you can use for this to unveil and understand the quantification and the impact and then the implication. Okay. So, kind of these questions about it's through this very, very detailed interview that you'll want to do is what's then the implication? If they don't fix the problem or get some solutions, where will they be in 6 months or a year or 5 years, right? We want to kind of nudge towards the pain, so to speak. And then with the baseline, you'll be able to know here's where we started, here's where we ended up. Okay. When I first started, I didn't do these kinds of surveys, and it was really hard to get the numbers, but oftentimes you can get the numbers from the employees. That's the best way to do it, is to find out what let's put a number to this. What was the impact? What was the difference in the revenue or the quantifiable data? Okay. And you could even do a sophisticated guess on this to really be able to see the results, right? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So
love the
to
script.
kind of a
Thank you,
general
Kathleen.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But even starting today to start to think more in these kinds of metrics are really, really, really important. Will you get hired by corporations if you don't have it? Absolutely, you will. Absolutely. But we're talking about another level of success, being able to do this kind of analysis, right?
So you
And
could
coaching.
actually, let's just assume, thank you very much, that's very valuable. Let's say they said it's costing them $10 million, okay? And then you fix their problem. You could then at the end actually say, I help them possibly increase the revenue by 10 million.
Yeah.
Not that you're taking credits for it completely, but you were a guide along the way.
Right, that you contributed, and best to have them even tell you, that the work that you did with X, Y, and Z contributed to this result, and then this result helped us save or gain X amount of dollars. And
So
frequently, yeah.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I say. Oftentimes, if they're a large publicly traded company, it's going to be a little hard for them to go on the record with that. But certainly, you can use just general statistics if it's backed up with data without specific client names. But yeah. But starting today to have more of a metrics mindset is going to be the key with corporate coaching and consulting for sure.
So last question, in your experience, when you've gone in and let's say solved the problem, whatever the problem was, did you then follow up with them 1 month later, 2 months later, 3 months later? What did you do, just out of interest specifically?
Oh, completely. Absolutely, completely. Yes. And it's the gold is in the follow up, and the gold is even before in the middle of the project. We'll talk more about this tomorrow and Friday, but the gold is throughout the project to be matching up their goals with what are they achieving, and hey, how can we bring these results out to another level of leadership in the company or another group or another department or another division? That's where the gold is. And ladies, 2 weeks ago, I signed a contract for in one day for an entire year's worth of business through one client, one corporate coaching client. And so it is completely possible, but it came from this entire system of, hey, quantifying, getting the metrics, and being able to be able to confidently produce results. Yeah. Yes. Good. And Susan, we're going to jump, if you don't mind, we're going to keep moving, and yep, feel free, put anything in the chat, because we've got tomorrow and Friday to talk about as well. And so starting to think about what are the problems that you're solving, and what are some ROI statements? And of course, as we complete our time, another thing that I'd love to invite you to think about for today's takeaway is start to think about yourself beyond the coach consultant. Yes, we've got the coach consultant box in the left, but think about other things, other titles that you can start using to expand your value in the corporation, okay, with your corporate clients. And so just trying out different titles and being more innovative, and also take some action today. Okay, so as we complete our time, I hope and I anticipate you got some value. Feel free, put in the chat what's one takeaway that you have from our time together. Would love to get some feedback. What's your biggest takeaway from our time together? And, it could be, of course, hey, the statistics about what's happening in corporate. Could be also, why do corporations hire coaches and consultants? What are the uses? How do you get used in a corporate environment? Metrics, surveys, all kinds of things. Reinventing yourself. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, thank you. Very good. Love this. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Saw the list of problems. Thank you, Mary. What corporations expect. Yep. Stepping into being a strategic partner. Molly, of course. Yes, exactly. The corporations want one consultant versus a whole group. That's very, very true. Yep. It's that great relationship. So yes, yes. So thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow, same time, same Batwoman channel, we're going to have a couple corporate clients of mine come in and talk to you about what do they look for in hiring a coach, consultant, advisor. What are they looking for? How do they evaluate speakers? How do they evaluate people? So you're going to be hearing from some of my clients that I'm going to be sharing with you from their perspective. What's their mindset on how do they pick and choose partners? Okay. So yeah, so be sure, love for you to come back tomorrow, and Friday, we're going to wrap things up with a really, really powerful next step for you. Okay. So good. So unmute yourself and give me a big corporate clients. We love you. Corporate clients, we love you. Take yourself off mute. Bye for
Bye for
now.
now.
Thank you. We love
Thank
corporate.
you. Bye.
Bye. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.